turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out. We're stressed out.
Hey, what's up, YouTubers? It's me, Gamer Brian, Gamer55551, and I am back. This isn't a video review or anything. I'm just kind of shooting this a little bit emergency style. As you can see here, I'm kind of dressed, getting ready to go to work and everything. But I want to talk about basically the Ghostbusters controversies, though. Okay. Normally I'll put in a movie review every now and then, though, when I go to see a movie and everything. But this one here, and I haven't seen the movie yet, though, just for the record, though, has been interesting because the amount of controversy that has been circling around with this movie in so many ways, though. I mean, it's like basically looking at it's really an interesting episode. I mean, to me, it's gone into almost sort of like what the whole Gamergate controversy has been. It's gone into sort of that level in any way. So, and what's interesting is that you're hearing this is going from both sides, though. Okay, I mean, on one hand, you have a situation where if you criticize this movie, you are sexist and racist, and on the other side, if you like this movie, you're viewed as, oh, you're a traitor, or you're being bought out by Sony, and so on. So it is a very interesting episode, and I will like to say, I'm going to say it this way, though, okay? While I agree that there have been sexist and racist comments made towards the movie, though, and for the record, I don't think people should just ignore saying, oh, there isn't. No, there have been, okay? I've seen them before. I mean, I remember one article, I think it was, correct me if I'm wrong, though, but this was from the Return of Kings that went after this movie. Then again, I think that's run by a guy who thinks that raping a woman is a good thing. So yes, there have been sexist and racist comments, though. That said, while I agree the sexist and racist comments have added fuel to the fire, though, I am going to say Sony, Todd Rodman, Amy Pascal, and Paul Feig, if I'm saying this right, I have to say, you guys at Sony, you're the ones that started the fire, okay? You're the ones that went out of your way to use this play the race and sexist card and use the controversy as your only means to sell this movie, okay? You and your allies did that. You basically made no effort, absolutely no effort, to convince me or a lot of people why I should see this Ghostbusters remake. There was nothing to be done that you guys did. I mean, and the top of that you guys try to play yourself as the victims. And like, I'm not buying that. I find it hard to believe that you guys are trying to play yourself as the victims when you have gone out of your way to call every criticism sexist and racist, though, gone as far as filing, copyright strikes or takedowns of videos that are criticizing this movie, even if they are in no way sexist and racist at all, though, and go as far as heavily monitor forums and so on, and try to not delete sexist and racist comments, which almost indicates to me that you're positioning yourself in a way that if this movie flops, though, and there's a good chance it could. I don't know what's going to happen at the box office. We'll see how well it does, especially with The Secret Life of Pets and Finding Dory, though. I mean, so if this movie does flop, though, that you're going to use that as an excuse as the reason why the movie flopped, though, okay? Never mind the fact that you guys made no effort to give people the reason to see this movie. Never mind the fact that you went out of your way to call geek culture a bunch of assholes, though, which I find that hard to believe because, you know what? What was once geeky now is normal today. There are a lot of people that are into geeky stuff. It wasn't was back in the old days. Hell, as a civilian contractor working on a military base, there are plenty of Marines plenty that I know that are as geeky as anyone else is, okay? Right? Not all of them play Call of Duty or anything like that. There are some that are anime fans. There are some that are like Nintendo fans and so on. So there are some really geeky Marines that I have met before. And there's some I'm good friends with those. However, all right? I mean, when compared to, say, Daredevil, I mean, not Daredevil, excuse me, Deadpool. I'm sorry. Wrong movie, though. I mean, compared to what Deadpool did was the complete opposite of what you guys are doing with Ghostbusters, so, okay? Deadpool, the folks, Ryan Reynolds, unlike Melissa McCarthy, who called saying that the people who are upset at this movie are 45-year-old people living in their mom's basement and all that stuff, Ryan Reynolds didn't do that. He didn't do anything like that, okay? He went out of his way to want to promote the Deadpool movie that we wanted to see. He went out of his way in such a way that basically said, look, I get it. You didn't like how Deadpool was treated in X-Men Origins Wolverine. I understand that. I understand your frustration. I understand your anger. And I want to make it up to you, and I want to give you the Deadpool that we wanted to see, though, okay? They went out of their way to promote this movie. They did not go out of their way to insult Deadpool fans or assault people or anything like that. They didn't play the racist or sexist card or did anything to build up any controversy, okay? They went out of their way to promote this movie. They wanted to earn the trust of Deadpool fans. That, in return, helped get good word of mouth out of that movie. And that's why one of the reasons why that movie is a success in its own right, though. I mean, that and the fact that there wasn't really any competition against Deadpool. I mean, seriously. I mean, Kung Fu Panda 3 and Star Wars Force Awakens weren't really competition to it since those movies came out. And those earned their money. Hell Caesar by the Coen brothers, though an interesting movie, though, was targeted towards a different audience, so that wasn't a threat to Deadpool. And Zoolander 2, look, I like Ben Stiller, I liked him in the movie Dodgeball, but I'm sorry, this was in no direct competition with Deadpool in any way. So that's one of the reasons. But the point is that the people who made that movie did not insult people when doing it, though. Hell, even the Star Trek Beyond movie, the upcoming trailer for that one, is definitely more I'm willing to see that one as well. I mean, yeah, the first trailer sucked and people did not like it, but the second trailer gave people a figure, you know what, maybe I want to see this movie, though, okay? So those are two good examples of movies that were done right and done in a way, and it didn't insult people the way you did, okay? Especially when your allies decide to go out and call everybody who criticized this movie is a Donald Trump supporter. Now, I am a left of center moderate. I do agree with progressive views, and I do agree with some SJW's views, social justice warriors, though, depending on what the view is, okay? And I'm sure as hell am not a Donald Trump supporter, okay? I'm sure as hell am not voting for an attention whore who happens to be one part Jim Jones and one part Adolf Hitler. And if you don't know what either of those two are, Google it or look it up Wikipedia, for crying out loud, all right? But while I sure as hell will not be voting for Trump, though, and I certainly do not support Donald Trump or any of his supporters, I do not believe everybody who has criticized this movie is a Donald Trump supporter. I'm an example. Like I said, I am a left of center, moderate. I also consider myself liberal, and even I do not agree with the way this movie was being handled, okay? All right, so I certainly do not buy into that argument at all, okay? To me, Sony, you made absolutely no effort. None whatsoever to convince me to see this movie under any circumstances, okay? And, you know, if you were, and quite frankly, I'm not in any rush to see the movie at all. And I don't know if I even want to see the movie, though. If I may or may not down the road, but I'm not into any rush, and I may not choose to see it because of your attitude, though. I mean, hell, I'm more interested in seeing the upcoming Wonder Woman movie than I am with the Ghostbuster movie. I mean, yeah, Batman vs. Superman wasn't perfect, but to me, it certainly wasn't a bad movie, and I definitely liked the way that Wonder Woman was portrayed in that movie, and I'm more interested in seeing that one over the Ghostbusters. Hell, there are good examples of female characters that I like, that I certainly think are really good examples of strong female characters, though. I mean, Samus Aran from the Metroid series. I like that, especially the Metroid Prime series. I love all three of them, and the Super Metroid game. Princess Zelda from the Zelda series. Her role has changed over the years. She's been more. She's not the whole damsel in distress thing. I mean, even example is Hyrule Warriors. She's a playable character along with Imp that shows that a woman could be a strong warrior and fighter, though. Lara Croft from the Tomb Raider series. I definitely like the new look that she has. I was not a big fan of the old look, which looks like a /Barbie/sex doll kind of look. This one, I like how they portrayed her this time. I think she's a strong woman. I mean, she's still beautiful, but still, I definitely like the new Lara Croft over the old Lara Croft, though. I definitely like how they portrayed Black Widow and Scarlet Witch in the Avengers or the Marvel Cinematic Universe, though. I mean, those are good, strong female characters. So there are good examples of strong female characters that could click with both guys and girls. And this movie didn't do anything like that. This is based, to me, this feels like you only relied on controversy to sell this movie. That's pretty much it. Much like how Donald Trump relies on controversy himself. He has nothing else to sell. That's basically what you guys are doing. You have nothing else to sell about this movie, all right? You know, if you were to do something similar to what Creed did, though, which was sort of like pass the torch, though, you know how that was handled, and that was handled properly. Like, for example, like the daughters of the original Ghostbusters hand the family business down to them, or hand a torch down to them, then yeah, I think that may have worked better. I think that may have worked way better than the way you guys are doing it right now. Again, this was a suggestion from a Marine I know at work who. This was a suggestion, I mean, from a Marine cook, though, but this was an interest, and I have to say I agree with him on that one, though. I mean, I think that idea could work. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not against an all-female cast Ghostbusters. There's nothing wrong with that, but you gotta have the right writers, directors, and you gotta have the right message. You gotta deliver in a way that appeals to, on one hand, you want to get the old school Ghostbuster fans in, but you also want to bring in a new crowd. So you got to balance it between both of them. And you did neither of that. You did absolutely nothing. You decided to make the controversy as your only selling point, and you decided to go after everyone who criticized this movie, including James Roth, though, you know, the angry video game nerd, where your supporters decided to call him basically criticizing him being a man-child, and go after his wife, which I think is very low blow in my sample. And for the record, he doesn't work for any studio. He doesn't work for any online site or magazine or newspaper or whatsoever. So he's free to see this movie at his own will, whether he wants to or not. Okay, so I think that was really pushing it right there. And let's not forget, Sony, you were also caught, basically, with actually paying someone to make good reviews for your movies, though. And you guys just had to suffer from it. Guys had to settle this out of court. Very similar to what we're seeing right now with Warner Brothers Games with the Shadow of Mordor. Good game, but the crap they pulled, very similar to what you guys are doing, what you guys did. All right? Bottom line is, it's going to be really interesting to see how this movie plays out once it hits theaters, and see how well it does in sales-wise, though. But one thing for certain for me, though, is that this movie is not going to be remembered as being a reboot or revive of a franchise, at least for me, though. This movie will be more remembered about the amount of controversy it's surrounding this, though, and the amount of poisonous blood that was in this regarding both sides of it, though, okay? And you, Sony, if anything, you're the ones that started this controversy, okay? You're the ones that started it. You're the ones that started this at all, okay? So you guys cannot claim yourself you're the victims of this, okay? You two are the villains in this as well, all right? Anyway, I'm done with this rant. I'm done with my video, though. I'm pretty sure no matter what I'm going to say, I'm going to be criticized either by both left or right on this, though. But I still stand behind what I said, though. Do you agree with my opinion? Do you disagree? Do you have a different take on the Ghostbuster controversy than I do? As always, you know, folks, sound off on the comment section. Hit the like button. Hope you subscribe to my YouTube channel, though. Again, I'll try to do some videos as much as I can, though. But, of course, I got to have the time and everything. And I will see you again next time when I do another video. Hopefully that'll be soon. We'll see, okay? But anyway, it's morning here in Southern California. I'll have to be, as you can see, I gotta get ready to go to work soon, so I'll see you again next time, alright? When I do another video, alright? Bye!
Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out.
Used to play pretend bunny. We used to play pretend, wake up, you need the money. Used to play pretend bunny. We used to play pretend, wake up, you need the money. Used to play pretend, give each other different names. We would build a rocket ship and then we fly far away. Used to dream of outer space, but now they're laughing at the face, saying, wake up, you need to make money.